On June 4, 2026, Mimi Faust sat down for an appearance on The Morning Hustle with host Laurel. The conversation turned to K. Michelle, and what came next was 13 years of documented history compressed into a few very specific sentences. Absolutely not. Not an ounce. She is the same person, different face. Michelle has grown since their time together on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. She didn't stop there. She's a bully, and then she plays the victim. That's Kay. She bullies people, and then she'll turn around and cry, and play the victim.
What have I ever done?
And I believe that's what she said. I saw it on the blog. I don't know if she said that.
That's always been Kay from way back then. These are not rumors. These are direct quotes from a time-stamped interview verified by multiple outlets, and they land with specific weight right now. 'Cause at this very moment, K. Michelle is starring in season 17 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta on Bravo, and what is happening on that show is giving Mimi Faust's words a real-time backdrop that viewers are already watching unfold, episode by episode, week by week. The most important thing to understand about Mimi Faust's Morning Hustle interview is what caused it. This was not Mimi randomly bringing up an old beef. According to host Laurel, K. Michelle had recently made public comments stating that she was open to making peace with most people from her Love and Hip Hop Atlanta past, with two specific exceptions. That statement, K. Michelle, excluding Mimi by name, is what prompted Laurel to raise the topic. And Mimi's first reaction was a question, not an attack. At the 17:56 mark of the interview, she asked, "What have I ever done to K. Michelle?" That question frames everything that followed, because from Mimi's documented perspective, the history between them was not something she started. The record on that goes back to 2013. Mimi Faust and K. Michelle were original cast members of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta when the show debuted in 2012 on VH1. At the time, Mimi was navigating the end of her long-term relationship with music producer Stevie J. Michelle was rebuilding her music career after a difficult label exit from Jive Records in 2011, during which she alleged on camera that she had been physically abused by former music executive Mickey Memphis Wright. Allegations Wright denied. By season 2, Mimi had moved on from Stevie J and was in a relationship with Nico London.
Not for me. I can only speak for me. For me, circling the block is not a thing.
The conflict between Mimi and K. Michelle grew directly from what K. Michelle said publicly about that relationship. During season 2 filming, K. Michelle made comments, including in media appearances, questioning the sexuality of Nico London, suggesting he was gay. Those comments made it onto the show and into the press simultaneously. The confrontation came to a head in early 2013. Backstage at B.B. King's Blues Club and Grill in New York City, according to multiple reports from the time, including coverage from MemphisRap.com and Jasmine Brand. Mimi attended K. Michelle's concert alongside her friend Ariane Davis and confronted K. Michelle backstage about the Nico London comments. Cameras were present as production was still filming for the upcoming season. Michelle did not back down. She doubled down on her position. According to reports, the dispute escalated to the point where K. Michelle struck Mimi with a bouquet of flowers. This is not disputed. Two separate pieces of public record confirmed it. First, Mimi's publicist released a formal statement at the time, obtained by Urban Bell Mag, which acknowledged the incident and described its limited physical impact. In actuality, Miss Faust left the venue and continued her night by visiting and enjoying herself in other New York City prestigious venues. Second, K. Michelle herself addressed the incident on Twitter. Her post read, "You should not have brought your skinny ace to my show talking crazy to me. You got popped. You can't get mad 'cause I think her boyfriend is down low." That tweet, posted to her verified account, confirmed the confrontation occurred and established that K. Michelle considered herself justified in her actions. Nico London also gave a public interview at the time pushing back on K. Michelle's characterization of him, And in that 2013 interview, he used a word to describe K. Michelle that is notable in hindsight. He called her a bully with everybody. Later in 2013, there was a moment that appeared to suggest the two women had resolved their differences. Mimi gave an interview to Vlada TV in which she indicated that she and K. Michelle had reconciled. That truce, whatever form it took, did not hold. Mimi's comments on the Morning Hustle 13 years later do not sound like someone who ever fully made peace with the situation. When I figured out who she was, I was like, I want no parts of this person, she said on June 4, 2026. What's also clear from the interview is that Mimi has kept her distance deliberately, and that K. Michelle's continued public commentary about her is what drew Mimi back into this conversation. When K. Michelle excluded her by name from a list of people she'd consider reconciling with, Mimi responded. That's the sequence of events. Michelle joined the cast of the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 17, which premiered April 5, 2026 on Bravo. The cast also includes Phaedra Parks, Porsha Williams, Drew Sidora, Shimea Morton-Mengi, Angela Oakley, Kelly Farrell, newcomer Pinky Cole, and friend Cynthia Bailey. K. Michelle came in with a documented personal reset. She had quietly married her childhood best friend, Dr. Castan Sims, in September 2025. She was working on a country music album, Puddin', with BBR Music Group and BMG Nashville. Bravo's official cast bio described her as arriving with a renewed sense of purpose. The early episodes of the season reflected some of that. She opened up about infertility struggles and her marriage, but by mid-season, her RHOA experience had fractured into exactly the kind of storyline Mimi Faust was describing from the outside. Here is what happened in documented order. During a cast trip to Dallas, K. Michelle raised an alarm in front of her castmates, and in a confessional, she said that after dinner the previous night, she received a phone call informing her that some of the women had been coordinating behind her back to set up an embarrassing moment for her during filming. In her confessional, she stated, "Last night after we left dinner, someone called me and said that there was a plot and a plan this whole time from some of these ladies." She eventually named Drew Sidora, Porsha Williams, and Phaedra Parks as the alleged orchestrators.
Talk about a rumor that a disgruntled ex said 8 years ago.
One rumor involved her alleged connection to a man named Black Tatted, who was linked to Drew Sidora. Another referenced comments from a former partner. The episode also showed cast members reviewing a social media post K. Michelle had put up, which read, "If it takes a group, plot, a rumor, or scheme to bring me down when I am coming in love, you already lost in the game and lost in life." That post went up while filming was still underway, which further complicated dynamics on the trip. The day after the episode aired, Porsha Williams posted on X. Her tweet read, "Who is a coward? I would define a coward as a person tweeting from the same house 2 doors down from me. Next time, let's do our job and bring it to my front door REL time. That's how it's done in RHOA."
Johnny is clean.
This is odd to me.
That post, verified and reported by Primitimer, made clear that Porsha was directly responding to K. Michelle and had no intention of letting the plot and plan narrative go unchallenged. The following episode escalated the Drew and K. Michelle feud further. Drew produced direct messages shown on screen between K. Michelle and the man she claimed not to know, Black Tatted. Michelle denied knowing him. Drew's position was that K. Michelle called him handsome in those messages, directly contradicting her denial. K. Michelle maintained her version of events. In episode 9, as cast members processed the escalating conflicts, Angela Oakley revealed something in a conversation with Cynthia Bailey that added another layer. K. Michelle and Porsha Williams, she said, had shared a romantic history with the same man at some point in the past. That detail referenced on camera by Angela offered additional context for why K. Michelle may have entered the season with pre-existing wariness about Porsha specifically. Also in episode 9, the Drew Porsha K Michelle conflict was still unresolved. A meeting between Drew, K, Michelle, Porsha, and Cynthia was shown, but no resolution was reached. By episode 10, Drew Sidora arranged a lunch with Shimea Morton and K Michelle in an attempt to get to the bottom of the feud. It did not go well. According to reporting from Reality T, K Michelle left the restaurant mid-conversation, leaving her Chanel bag behind. The same week, Drew appeared on Watch What Happens Live on June 8, 2026. Host Andy Cohen asked her directly about the status of her conflict with K Michelle. Drew said, "I don't really know where this issue came from. I don't even think she knows, to be honest."
Dramatic. I feel like it was for a moment because I don't really know where this issue.
I asked her and she didn't tell me what the issue is. We're all trying to figure it out. Here is where the timeline becomes striking. Mimi Faust's June 4th interview on The Morning Hustle came 1 week before the June 7th episode in which K Michelle walked out of a lunch, and 3 days before Drew Sidora appeared on WWHL saying she has no idea what the conflict is even about. Mimi's characterization, that K Michelle bullies people and then positions herself as the victim, is a personal opinion formed from first-hand experience. That is clearly stated. But it is an opinion that K Michelle's RHOA Season 17 castmates appear to be arriving at independently in real time through their own experiences. Drew Sidora has said publicly in a verified interview that she does not understand the basis of K Michelle's grievance with her. K Michelle has claimed a coordinated plot existed. The show has not produced evidence that confirms the plot. K Michelle has also shifted the framing of her conflict with Drew, moving from allegations of coordinated scheming to offense over implications about her relationship with Black Tatted. Whether any of K Michelle's allegations are accurate is not something the available evidence resolves. What the record shows is the allegations were made, they were disputed by the named parties, and the conflict has not been explained to the satisfaction of the other women involved. Mimi Faust is not involved in any of this directly. She is not a cast member of RHOA. She did not seek out this interview to weigh in. She was asked, specifically, because K Michelle had publicly excluded her from a peace offering, and she answered, as of June 12, 2026, K Michelle has not publicly responded to Mimi Faust's Morning Hustle comments. What she has engaged with publicly in recent days is a separate matter. On June 9, 2026, a fan posted on X pointing out that K Michelle only had 3 confessional looks across the season so far. K Michelle responded directly on her verified account, "I did a lot of my confessionals at one time. There were some times I was out working. I have more looks coming." Her country album, Puddin', remains scheduled but without a confirmed release date, as of this report. Her marriage to Dr. Kastan Sims remains ongoing. She continues to appear in new episodes of RHOA Season 17, which airs Sundays on Bravo and streams on Peacock the following day. What Mimi Faust said on June 4, 2026, was direct, specific, and grounded in documented personal history. She used the word bully. She described a pattern, aggression followed by victim positioning, and she asked, in genuine terms, what she had ever done to K Michelle to deserve being explicitly excluded from a reconciliation offer. Fools. Those are not rhetorical flourishes. They are questions with a 13-year paper trail behind them, a publicist's statement, a confirmed Twitter post, a Vlad TV truce interview that didn't hold, and now a Bravo season that, through documented episode recaps, verified social media posts, and cast interviews, appears to be generating the same set of questions all over again from a brand new group of women. What viewers make of all this is their call. What the record shows is this. 2 women have been in documented conflict since 2013. One is currently on national television. The other was asked for her opinion, and she gave it without hesitation. K. Michelle has not responded. RHOA Season 17 is still airing.